Stefan Gandil here with freedomacademyhq.com, making another video. And today what I want to talk about is basically what is non-resistance and acceptance of thoughts and emotions. Okay, so basically, there seems to be two camps when it comes to overcoming social anxiety and shyness, which is one is basically cognitive behavioral therapy, which says to kind of like try to reframe your thinking and change your thinking and try to go to a more realistic or more positive way of thinking towards your thoughts that come when you are socially anxious or in social situations. And the other camp where it's more, it's what I'm talking about here, which is acceptance and non-resistance. So what do these two mean right here? So basically, first of all, I think it's a way better avenue to take than to try and change your thoughts and, become more realistic and challenge your thoughts and all that. Because basically doing this, I've done that for many years, the cognitive behavioral part, and it did help a little bit, but I mean, this here completely changed my life. So I mean, a lot of people say that cognitive behavioral therapy helped them, so don't take my word for it, I'm just describing my experience, but a lot of people seem to be going towards this, and this is the acceptance method and non-resistance method seems to be taking a lot of grounds lately, because it's the newer approach also. So basically, what acceptance and non-resistance is instead of like fighting with your thoughts, which is in my mind a never-ending battle, because if you try to change your thoughts or reframe your mind or reprogram your thinking and all that, it's a never-ending battle. You know why? Because negative thinking is a human trait and it's there to stay. It's our biggest survival mechanism. So when you try to fight that and keep it from happening, I mean, it's not gonna happen. Negative thoughts are always gonna come up. So as soon, this is in my experience, as soon as I would reframe a thought, another one would come up like instantly right after, and that wasn't really the best approach for me. So when I switched to acceptance and resistance, I was learning about how to accept my thoughts, how to accept my emotions when they came, instead of trying to make it go away and trying to resist them or reduce them. So basically, I really like this approach because it's all about learning the skill of being able to live your life with these feelings, So think about it, this makes much more sense. Don't you want to live a life where stuff can happen and bad stuff can happen and you don't run away or try to change everything as soon as a bad feeling comes up or you're having negative thoughts? Wouldn't you like to learn how to let those thoughts come up, and instead of being like, okay, that my brain is telling me that, I'm a loser, so, I'm gonna do a reframe. I'm not a loser because that time, with Stacy, I've said this and it was pretty cool, so, I'm not a loser. Or, a way to reframe. Instead, you're having these negative thoughts, having these negative emotions, anxiety come up, and you've learned the habit of letting them be there and letting them express themselves. So it would look more something like, you have the thought that says, I'm a loser, and acceptance of it would be kind of, because acceptance and non-resistance, it's a mindfulness technique, right? So it's the content, the context is mindfulness, basically, because you get non-resistance and mindfulness in the content, that's the content, but the context surrounding it, it's mindfulness. It's basically mindfulness techniques. So you basically be able to learn how to let those thoughts come up, and instead of letting those thoughts kind of attack you, and then you have to attack back, which is in my mind, that's how I view cognitive behavioral therapy. Instead of having that happen, what's amazing about acceptance and non-resistance is that you would kind of leave the battlefield. So, and this changed my life completely, okay? So basically, when you'd have that thought come up and it's like, oh, you're a loser, you know, that kind of thought that always comes, what you do is basically, you'd say, okay, look at that. My mind is telling me that I'm a loser. And kind of just look at it and kind of let it be there. But you know what you don't do is you don't get attached to it, because you come from a different point of view when you practice acceptance and non-resistance. It's the point of view of that you left the battlefield, basically. So you're just seeing your mind act as your mind, but you're not taking what it says too seriously, you know? And you know, some of your thoughts that are going to come up, they're going to elicit some bad emotions, but the really amazing thing about this too is that you can do the same to your emotions. So, and I've been practicing that a lot, and it's really changing my life a lot, which is basically you can learn how to feel anxiety and just let it be there, kind of. And you're like, oh, okay, so I feel anxious right now. And, you know, whereas before it'd be more of a kind of, oh, damn, I feel anxious. Okay, so how do I get, oh my God, how do I get rid of this? Now it's more of like, oh wow, look at that, my body feels anxious. Wow, okay. And then you can bring kind of your attention to the feelings that it gives, to the feelings that comes up, like the sensations in your body. And funnily enough, when you practice this versus this, cognitive behavioral therapy, the negative emotions and the negative thoughts, they leave much quicker, and they're much less intense, you know. So that's what I wanted to share in this video, guys. It's just a little quick background, you know, on what acceptance and resistance is. What acceptance and non-resistance is. So basically, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment below. Okay? See you next time.